Now, here's your first alert weather forecast with meteorologist Henry Groff.
Well, it was a fantastic Saturday across the Mid-Ohio Valley as we start to move into Mother's Day tomorrow. But this morning was a bit cold. I mean, taking a look at how we got this morning, we were all the way down to around 34 here in Parkersburg. But luckily, quickly recovering, jumping about 29 degrees since this morning. So we got up into those low 70s today. Still holding on to that right now as we take a live look here in Parkersburg through the high mark sky cam. If you're going to be heading out this evening, definitely enjoy it because we are going to be tracking more rain coming back in, but that's not going to be until Monday as we do track a low further down towards the south, bringing in storms. And then up towards the north, we do have another cold front, but that has some dry air associated, so we're just going to be looking at partly cloudy skies tonight and into Mother's Day. And also quite on the mild side for us by around midnight down to around those mid-50s, and then 6 o'clock tomorrow morning down into those upper 40s to low 50s. And as we look at the day planner ahead for Mother's Day, it's going to be quite nice tomorrow morning. By noon, back to those mid-70s, looking at partly cloudy skies, and then a bit more cloud cover later on through the afternoon and into the evening. But tomorrow, quite nice, looking at temperatures all the way up into those low 80s. So if you're able to, definitely try to get outside for Mother's Day. Maybe you're going to be starting a garden as well. It is going to be fantastic. Now, as we look at some showers moving in for your Monday, it is going to start to arrive through the morning commute and especially into the afternoon. And this is also going to be the start of that wet weather that we're going to be tracking for the first half of the work week. So it's with us on Tuesday. We could even see some rumbles of thunder, but as of right now, really not too concerned about any severe weather threat here in the Mid-Ohio Valley as that chance of showers and thunderstorms continue all the way into the middle of the week. Temperatures are also going to be on the steady side for the first half, looking at mid to upper 70s, and then it gets warmer and warmer towards the end with mid 80s on Thursday, upper 80s on Friday, getting really, really close to that 90-degree mark there, LV.